Hello friends, and welcome back to Freedom Farm. I've had a lot of people ask me after I got done with that last batch of Cornish Cross if I could do a cost analysis for how much that costed, and so I've promised people I've done it. I've been super busy and I haven't gotten around to it, but that's what I'm here to do today. So finally I've got all the numbers. I've had the numbers for several weeks, but I just have not had time to do this video. So here we are, and that's what I have here. This is the cost analysis for that last batch of 50 birds, the Jumbo Cornish Cross that I raised. So we're going to run through the numbers. I'll try to explain everything as best I can. I've broken it down probably more than you want to hear, but this will give you an idea for when you go to raise your own birds, how much it's going to cost you and about what you should expect to spend. This is based on 50, but I actually have it broke down per bird, so it should give you an idea of how much that you're going to spend on your own to raise, and is it worth it to you or not. That's your own choice. All right, so here we go. Our cost analysis for the last 50 Jumbo Cornish Cross birds that I raised. I got these birds, so we know all the details here. I got these birds from Meyer Hatchery. I don't remember how many came. I think it might have been like 52 or 53. I know that 3 were lost. We ended up with 50, and that wasn't Meyer Hatchery's fault that any were lost. One of them died a few days afterwards, but then we had the hawk attacks over the summer. Long story short, we ended up with 50 birds at processing for this group. All right, so the total cost for me to purchase those birds from Meyer Hatchery was $142.50. That comes out to $2.85 per bird. For me to get the little day-old chicks, it was $2.85 per bird. That's what I paid. It's more expensive than it used to be, but what isn't nowadays? So starting off, you're going to be at $2.85 per bird without any other expenses. You might save a few pennies here or there depending on who you buy it from, but I bought mine from Meyer. All right, feed. That's a big expense. I ended up growing mine for about 9 weeks. I also went through 1,000 pounds of 24% broiler starter grower. I fed mine crumbles. The total feed bill was $349.19 for 1,000 pounds of feed. That ends up being $6.98 per bird. All right. Young rooster, still learning. So cost of the birds and the feed per bird is $9.83. That's $9.83 per bird for the cost of the initial bird plus the feed. All right. Total weight of the birds. All 50 birds, after I processed them, weighed 313.78 pounds. That's 313.78 pounds. That is 6.28 pounds per bird. Now that's the whole bird after processing, but it's a whole chicken that's bagged and ready for sale. So what that ended up being, going back to that feed cost, the feed costed me $1.11 per pound of packaged meat. That's just the feed cost per pound. All right, the bags and the labels that I put these birds in costed me 84 cents per bird. So my finished cost of the bird, the feed, the bags, and the labels was $10.67 per bird. Now, in case you don't know, it's been pouring down rain, and it's expecting to start raining again here any minute. So they're not free ranging today because they hate being in the rain, but by God, they want to get out. Anyway, so we're at $10.67 per bird. Lots of additional costs that go into this, and I just broke them down real quickly. I use tomato cores to help get the lungs out. That's $11.67. I process by myself, so I only use 2 restraining cones. They're $105 for 2 restraining cones for decent ones. You can make your own. You can do all that. The ones I have, I love. They work really well. They make the process much simpler. Hold the birds tight. I have no issues with them. It's worth the $105 to me. I also use some coated high temperature gloves, and they come about up to here on me. I use those so when I am scalding the bird before plucking, that I can hold that bird down and make sure it gets scalded all the way around, so the feathers come out easily. Those were $30, well worth it. By accident, I got in a hurry and actually stuck my hand down with regular gloves and it didn't feel so good. So don't scald yourself, spend the $30 and get these gloves. Plucker. Now, this has gone much more expensive. I think I saw it for about $700 now, but when I got it, it was $418.36 for the plucker. And then chicken tractors. You're gonna have to have something to keep them in, and if you're gonna pasture raise them, so you can move them around each day or a couple times a day. And the ones I build, I can build. The way prices are going, I don't know exactly what it is today, but it's probably about $275 or $300 per chicken tractor. So that's an average cost of $840, depending on how much your chicken tractor is, $840 to about $865.03. Additional expenses not included in that $10.67 per bird. So how do you depreciate these items? I don't think it's right to just depreciate them over 50 birds, but it depends on how many you raise and what this expense is going to be for you. Just say we depreciate it over 5 years. We expect everything to last for at least 5 years. Now, how many birds do you raise per year? If it's 50 a year, then you would have 250 birds processed over the life expectancy of your equipment. These are just rough numbers just because I want to depreciate it and show something. That would add an additional $3.36 per bird for all this additional expense. That comes out now to $14.03 per bird to have this equipment and use it to process 50 birds per year for 5 years. So a total of 250 birds will be processed during your life expectancy of this additional equipment. Say you're going to do 200 birds a year. That adds 84 cents per bird, which raises your total per bird to $11.51. So for $11.51, if you raise 200 a year, that should be close to what it's going to cost you per bird. Now remember, before everybody says, oh my gosh, you're charging this for a bird, and we have talked, I didn't factor in cost of water here. They drink, I think they were drinking, let me think back now, they were drinking about 30 gallons every 2 days. So they were drinking a good bit of water. I haven't factored in water costs. I also, the big thing, did not factor in any labor costs. It takes time. It takes your time to raise these. You know you're going to be out there usually twice a day, especially within the last 5 or 6 weeks, moving that chicken tractor twice a day. Feeding them, making sure they have water. So I would say on average, you're going to spend, I would say, at least an hour over the course of that time caring and tending for these chickens. So you figure 9 weeks at 7 days a week, that's 63 hours. What's your time worth? I don't know. That's for you to answer. But like I said, water and labor were not factored into these. So just a quick rerun. To buy the chickens, feed them, process them, minus the equipment, and put them in bags with labels and get them in the freezer, $10.67 per bird. I think that's the big number that most people wanted to know, and that's what I came up with. Like I said, that ended up being $1.11 per pound for the whole processed chicken, is what the bird and the feed cost me. So hopefully that gives you some answers and helps. I know a lot of people have been asking me to do this, so hopefully that explains it, helps you know that, are you doing better than me, or are you doing worse than me? It gives you at least a guideline to know at least what I'm getting, and hopefully it helps you, if you haven't ever raised meat chickens, to decide whether it's worth it to you. I personally, hands down, there's no question about it, to me it's definitely worth it, especially when you start looking at the price of goods now, and not just the price but the availability of goods. To me it's a no-brainer. The way things are now, the times, the inflation, the instability of everything, the supply chain issues, all the nonsense that's going on right now, to me it's 100% worth paying $10.67 per bird to have that kind of peace of mind in my freezer. I know that, I think right now I have, I don't know, from this summer I think I've put up 200 or 300 pounds of birds in the freezer for ourselves, and that gives me peace of mind. Supply chain issues, while they may affect me at some point, I have a long ways to go before I have to worry about that. Like I said, meat birds are just one of the things that I raise here, and to me it's all about peace of mind, and I don't have to worry about exactly what's happening from day to day and how that's going to affect me and my ability to feed my family. So hopefully this video helps. If it does, hit the like button and subscribe, and like I said, I just started this YouTube channel recently, so subscribe, because I'm going to put out a bunch of more videos that hopefully will help you, and you'll learn something from. And thanks again for stopping by, and I hope y'all have a good day.